Say get ready to go. It's Friday night football. It's Friday night shalom. Yeah!
Oh, what a catch! Touchdown! Touchdown! What a hit! Spectacular! The stadium is rocking. Friday night football, baby!
The show is to come. It's going coast to coast. Friday night football on TSN. Let's go!
They are the top team without question in the East Division of the Canadian Football League right now, coming off their decisive victory over the Toronto Argonauts 4 days ago on Labor Day Monday. Back at it again, the rematch at the Rogers Centre. And traveling down the QEW to watch that first-place team. Lots of Ticat fans mixed in with the double blue for this one to start off Week 12 and Wendy's Friday Night Football. Welcome to it. Glad you could be with us on a rematch weekend coming up. Rod Smith along with the panel of Milt Stiegel, Matt Dunnigan, and Chris Schultz. Let us just rewind 4 days to Labor Day Monday, what is billed as a battle for first place in the East, and it wasn't even close. Hamilton 42, Toronto 12. So Argos need to change something. Milt, what are you looking for in this rematch game?
Well, I'm looking at the big three, Elliott, Gurley, and Hazleton. We need those guys to step up big time. Over the last 2 games combined, they have 217 yards. They need to average that this game if they want to win this game. Their defense has been struggling, so that offense has to pick it up, Matt.
Well, I'm looking for the Toronto Argonauts to come out with a little more intensity for one thing. I thought they were flat in the Labor Day game last week, and I also believe that they got to establish a line of scrimmage. Look, Brandon Whitaker is an elite back. We call him two-way for a reason because he get a lot of things done. But on the ground, over the last 2 games against the Hamilton Tiger-Cats, he's got 6 carries for 22 yards. Last week, Toronto's rushing game compiled of 9 carries for 48 yards. Chad Cackert had 5 for 37. Not bad, just needs more touches. Got to establish that line of scrimmage with Cackert and Whitaker, in my opinion, help out that young quarterback. And then the big three, Milt, will get theirs down the football field.
Well, for me, this one is really easy to analyze and conclude as to what is the priority for the Toronto Argonauts, and it is pass defense. Zach Collaros, as a quarterback, threw the football. His receivers not just open, they were wide open. And as a consequence, the Hamilton Ticats had 128 yards after the initial catch. That is an entire football field of distance that they accumulated after the catch. For the Toronto Argonauts, this has been an issue for the last 3 games. Is it the pass rush? Is it the coverage? Is it mixing up coverages? They've got to find an answer because this football team, they have to respond. Hamilton will be ready.
We were all impressed when the Argos, with all those games on the road, started the season at 6-2. Well, 6-4 now, but those last 2 losses especially have been blowouts to Edmonton and then to Hamilton. So can they bounce back in this one tonight? How about Melody Lussier of St. Albert, Alberta? You could win the ultimate $25,000 home theater package from Vision Electronics if a kickoff is returned for a touchdown in this game tonight, thanks to Safeway's Touchdown to Win promotion. And if a second kickoff is returned for a touchdown in this game, you could also win $1 million. Good luck, Melody. Chris Cuthbert, Glenn Suter, standing by at the Rogers Centre in Toronto. Out come the Argos, looking to make amends after what happened just 4 days ago. Not much rest. Ready to go again in Wendy's Friday Night Football on TSN.
QEW, it's the Labor Day rematch. Ticats look for the sweep. The Argos try to get even in the standings on Wendy's Friday Night Football from Toronto.
Zach Collaros threw for a career-high 400 yards on Monday, is now on pace to set a Ticat record in passing yards. He is 3-2 versus his old team. Trevor Harris still leads the league in completion percentage, but was not happy after Monday's loss. Most players do not like the short week. Harris said yesterday he's real glad he gets another crack at Hamilton this quickly.
Scott Milanovich's Argos try to avoid heading into a bye week on a 3-game losing streak. The Argos are 3-0 in their home games so far this year. Ken Austin's Ticats have won the season series. They've outscored the Argos 66-30. They're trying to move 4 points up with the tiebreaker in the race for first in the East. 42-12, 34-18. The scores in the first 2 matchups. Let's see if it's any different tonight as Brandon Banks is back. The Ticats win the toss. Roof closed here. And Hamilton wants their hands on the football first. Final matchup of the Southern Ontario teams in the regular season underway. And Speedy Banks from his 9. And contained well, dropped by Brian Roll at the 20-yard line as Zach Collaros coming off that career best and 4-touchdown performance.
Start number 32 for Zach Collaros. He's 20-11. His number 1 receiver on Monday was Terrell Sinkfield, was a top performer in the CFL. And when it comes to first-year CFL receivers, Terrence Tolliver leads the way with 589 yards. Some of the stars to watch in this Hamilton offense.
502 yards of offense on Monday, second highest total in the Canadian Football League so far this year. First down, they fake to Hawley and get it into the hands of Sinkfield, who did much of the damage against his former team on Monday at Tim Hortons Field. He's got 12 on the opening play.
Change in the linebacking core for the Toronto Argonauts. James Juracek gets his first start in 2015. Had 1 start last year. In that game, though, it was versus Hamilton. He had a sack and an interception. Tristan Opala-Ugo and Ricky Foley combined for 10 sacks. They got to contain Zach Collaros.
Here's Hawley straight ahead, and he gets leveled by Ricky Foley and Greg Jones, the middle linebacker. Hawley finished with 84 yards, much of it late in the game on Monday on 9 carries.
It's going to be key for that Toronto defense if they're going to, first of all, not let Hamilton get off to the great start they've done in most of the games. Toronto's been a slow starter throughout the season and had a good fourth quarter. That's how they've won. You got to limit the damage early in this game.
Ticats converted 71% of their second down situations. Second down here, and Collaros throws a strike. And a first down as the catch is made by Luke Tasker, who's had 7 in each meeting against the Argos this season.
Zach Collaros going right after that linebacking spot in the drop that is held now by James Juracek. Corey Greenwood is going to miss this game due to injury. Collaros goes right after that zone in behind Juracek.
There are those second down conversion numbers on the season, and they are off the charts, 5% better than the best since they've tracked that stat since 2008. First down into the hands of Hawley, not going very far, taken down quickly by defensive tackle Cleon Lang.
Well, it was a career best. You go back to Monday's game, he got off to a great start. He picked up the blitz well, was seeing it against this Toronto defensive scheme. And Toronto tried a lot of different looks. They went some man-to-man early. Collaros went after him with the deep ball and some explosive plays. When they dropped into zone, he started dumping it underneath and letting his receivers do the heavy lifting.
Scored on their first 5 possessions last week, 18 first downs in their first 6 possessions. They've got another first down here as Tasker has the catch. And after a bit of a stumble, he's down inside the 40. And the Cats are picking up where they left off on Monday.
Working one-on-one on Travis Hawkins here, and Luke Tasker is going to just run this out route, a stunt up front from the Toronto defense. They're going to send 6. Trying to get some pressure on Collaros. Can't do it.
23 yards and a first down. Collaros with time, taking a shot, looking for Underwood, and it's picked off. Brought down by Kwesi Owusu-Ansah in front of Underwood. And the Argonauts have a takeaway down on their 2-yard line. A drive snuffer from Owusu-Ansah, taking it away from Underwood. Year for Kwesi Owusu-Ansah.
Owusu-Ansah is right down here at that wide side corner now. He's got the deep outside third in this zone, but take a look at where his eyes are. Right here, he's looking back at the quarterback. He's got his receiver, Underwood, under control, looking back at the ball in the air and plays it. Cuts underneath, gets it at his high point. Nice interception.
First Argo interception in 4 games, and Toronto starts at their own 2. Second read, third read in trouble, and Harris has to step up and avoid a safety. Gets back to the line of scrimmage and maybe a yard. Brian Hall tracks him down.
Brandon Whitaker, as Matt Dunnigan mentioned in the pregame show, is going to help. His 6-yard average can provide some balance in this offense for Trevor Harris, who, as I mentioned, did not sleep Monday night, was upset. But he needs some help up front. Bruce Campbell at tackle and Chris Van Zyl. Van Zyl said it might have been his worst game as a pro on Monday. They've got to play better, give their quarterback some time.
Harris had the touchdown lead, but surrendered it on Monday. now second behind Colaros with 20 touchdowns on the year. 2nd and 8, again from the end zone, a low toss, and there's that safety valve. Brandon Whitaker gives the Argos a much-needed first down.
Yeah, Matty talked about him being two-way because he's so dangerous in the passing game, and just for this reason, dropping into that drop into his own end zone, that's danger time for Trevor Harris, but he has his safety valve. He drops it to Whitaker. He moves the chains and gets him some breathing room.
Made Simone Lawrence miss for 10 and a first down. Three-man front for the Ticats, and the hitch caught in traffic and dropped at the line of scrimmage. Kevin Mitchell. Kevin Elliott, excuse me.
Yep, 2 tackles for Toronto. Van Zyl and Campbell are going to have to try and handle Justin Hickman, who has 6 sacks on the season. That's tied for 4th. Brandon Stewart is in for Rico Murray at halfback, and Big Ted Laurent, can they try and control him? This defense not only stops you, but they score. Pressure up the middle. Very difficult with Ted Laurent and Brian Hall.
8 defensive touchdowns on the year, 6 sacks against the Argos, 4 on Monday, 2nd and 10, and that's intercepted. Picked off by Eric Harris, and the Ticats get it back. And as they started the game, now back to plus 20 in the giveaway takeaway ratio, by far league leaders in that department. 2nd interception of the year for Harris, deep in Argo territory.
Nice drop here by Eric Harris. He's going to drop in this zone, and now Trevor Harris thinks he's dropping outside, but he stays on the inside curl on Chad Owens, and the mistake that Trevor Harris makes here, and this is typical of young quarterbacks. Look how he's staring down. Chad Owens locked right in on number 2, and that brought the linebacker right to the football.
Ticats have 137 points of turnovers, by far league leaders in that department. Colaros throws, and it's an easy touchdown. Matt Coates has his first Canadian Football League touchdown.
Doesn't take long. Make a mistake against this Hamilton Tiger Cat team, they make you pay immediately. You talked about points after turnovers. And what's been a tough few days for Trevor Harris, it's got that much tougher. He's got to shake this quickly. .73% in the red zone. Hamilton Tiger Cats have been one of the most efficient teams down there. They don't take much time at all. Matt Coates.
Former Hamilton Hurricane, he might not give that ball up for a while. And Colaros has his 23rd touchdown pass of the season. Medlock attempting the extra point out of the hold of Tasker. Puts it through. And one play after the Harris interception, the Ticats have a 7-0 lead.
Points off of turnovers. Hamilton Tiger Cats lead the league in creating 35 turnovers. That's almost 4. That's 3.5 a game. And they're just taking the ball away. And when they do, and there's Eric Harris on the pick, when they do take it away, their quarterback will take advantage of that great field position. And this time, it's Matt Coates on the slant route. He's going to just cut underneath this route here from Taekwon Underwood. Almost a rub/pick underneath, and Coates has his first in the CFL.
That's 5 touchdown passes in the last 5 quarters, and there's the guy he's taken a spot from, the injured Andy Fantuz, with congratulations for the former Hamilton Hurricane.
Fantuz with this is his 6th game he'll miss, went up and said, "That's awesome, man."
Here's the man who had the interception, Akwasi Owusu-Ansah, not going very far. Neil King leading the charge downfield. Well, Trevor Harris not happy with the way this started, and he was doing a slow burn about last week.
It's huge because I'm ticked off, and I think our whole team is. And if you're not ticked off after getting your face pounded in like that, then I don't think you're a competitor. And you know, I was mad after that game. It was one of those ones where you kind of just, it's not one thing you can say, oh, if we'd have made this play or that play. They just beat our head in. And it was a tough one. You know, it was a tough one for all of us because we work hard. Now we all have a lot of pride and we all believe in what we do, and for us to go out there and give that kind of an effort was embarrassing.
And you know he can't wait to get back out, but hoping for better field position after an offside on the kickoff against Hamilton.
Yeah, and Trevor Harris has got to take that anger and channel it and focus it. Concentrate, make his reads, deliver the football.
Owusu-Ansah once again. Up over the 35. And still going up to the 43-yard line before he's wrestled down by a former Argo, Anthony Woodson. Well, let's see how he rebounds off a tough start tonight.
You take a look at his first 3 games. He had Zach Collaros type numbers, 14 touchdowns to 4 interceptions. And then in the last 4, the numbers have dropped drastically. And now he's 50-50 in the touchdown interception ratio and needs to clean that up quickly.
1 for 3 on his opening possession. First down at the 43. And the handoff inside. And that's Anthony Coombs for a pickup of around 5.
One thing Scott Milanovic will understand is that to get his quarterback back and comfortable, and keep in mind, this is start number 12 for Trevor Harris. Still a real young guy when it comes to a starter at this level. So you get a running game going, high percentage passes, a little bit of a rhythm, and a few first downs, and that's going to help number 7 a ton.
Just the 6th rush of the year for Coombs. Now Whitaker, the lone running back, stays in, second down, and after a pump, a completion, and Coombs has a catch and a first down. Youngster in his 2nd year who was challenged to do a little bit more by the coach, but I think Scott Milanovic has challenged a lot of the Argos in the last 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, and it starts with his quarterback. Said his quarterback has got to be better. He's got to play great. And this time, watch the difference in Trevor Harris. See, with this pump fake, and then he's looking that way and throwing inside to Coombs. Remember the first time he stared down Chad Owens? He's already made the adjustment.
First down, Ticat 49. 3 receivers the near side. That's the way they run it. Whitaker with a cutback and good first down production on the run by a team that had 10 yards rushing in the first half last week. Whitaker has 8 there.
Again, it's manageable second down situations. And, you know, in the last couple of days, Scott Milanovic has said Zach Collaros is playing off the hook great. And that's good for him. But now we need our quarterback to play great as well. It wasn't his fault. Wasn't Trevor Harris' fault completely for the loss last Monday, but said he's got to play better.
Brendan Galander's in motion, 2nd and short. Whitaker the fake, and there is Galanders with the football, the first down, and Trevor Harris got hit hard by Justin Hickman, but nice play-action fake and a 16-yard pickup for the former Ottawa GG.
Yeah, and Trevor Harris pays the price here. He plays the zone read, and he's going to go to Whitaker and pull it because he had to pull it. He sees the crash there from the inside and Ted Laurent. Now he's got to deal with Hickman. He knows he's going to take the hit here, but he'll pay the price to get it out there. He has a wide-open receiver and a first down.
Well-executed play, 16 yards and a first down to the Cat 25. Fake to Whitaker, they're looking the other way, and Tory Gurley has the catch. And a first down in front of Ed Geedy. He'll step out at the Hamilton 12.
Needs some time and play action for Gurley to run this route. It's an out, then he goes up, and then he breaks out again and comes back to the football. Couple of moves here from Tory Gurley at the short side of the field. He runs that out and up, look like he's going to come deep, and then he jams his feet and comes right back. You need time to throw that. Well executed.
4 catches for Gurley on Monday. This, the 6th play of the drive, as the Argos move into the red zone. Direct snap, Whitaker, and now a reverse, and Owens is going to throw, and it will fall incomplete. Trevor Harris was the target, and Taylor Reed, The middle linebacker stayed with him. Thought this was a short week. You don't have time for putting in those gadget plays.
This one could have been in the book for some time. They just haven't run it, but it's that double reverse pass here as a direct snap. First of all to Whitaker. Little quick toss there to Chad Owens, who takes the hit. Simone Lawrence, if he bites on the run, now Chad Owens has all kinds of time to throw, and you can see at the other end, Taylor Reed in great coverage on the quarterback.
Well played by Taylor Reed, 2nd and 10. Time running out, and Harris will run out inside the 5 and drop with a huge hit at the 3. He signals first down. I think, Trevor, you're about a yard short.
This is an example. You heard the clip of Trevor Harrison being angry. And this is an example of trying to let a little bit of that anger out and go and try and just do what you got to do to get to that first down marker. He takes a big one there.
Adrian Tracy really got a shot in.
Gets up immediately.
Well, we've talked about it throughout the season. 3rd down gambles are not automatics. In fact, 69% successful. 3rd and at least a yard. And Adrian McPherson and the jumbo team come on for Toronto.
This is about who gets lower.
Well, he's been challenging his players, and this is a pretty good challenge for Scott Milanovich to his offense right here. 3rd and a yard. And they'll toss it out. Whitaker trying to get the edge. Butler in pursuit. Touchdown.
Gutsy call, but a great call. And a call like that loosens it up a little bit for short yardage later in this game. Because now Hamilton doesn't just overcommit to the middle, and they have to take care of the edges.
First rushing touchdown of the season for Whitaker. Terrific response by the Argos after the early Ticat touchdown. Man, now Waters on to try and tie it up. Tie game. 8-play, 67-yard touchdown march, and they cap it on 3rd and 1. Brandon Whitaker, 3-yard touchdown. On the drive, capped by Brandon Whitaker's first rushing touchdown of the season, 3rd overall.
He was a big part of that drive, start to finish, getting Trevor Harrison workable, manageable 2nd downs. But that was a big drive for Harrison, his confidence.
Brandon Banks starts from the Ticat 5. Cover team gets the job done again. That's Thomas Miles, the linebacker out of Manitoba, downfield first. Well, maybe the understudies will give us a little shootout tonight. Caleros versus Harris.
Yeah, big one for Trevor Harris. He was completion percentage 100 in that last drive, 3 for 3. Also had the big run, getting him down to the goal line, and a gutsy but good call to Brandon Whitaker to tie this score.
Ticats start at their 23. One pump and they'll drop it off, and it falls at the feet of Sinkfield, incomplete. Matt Black, who's in at strong side linebacker, was in the vicinity.
Akwasi Owansu-Ansah saw a deep throw that Zach Caleros wanted and took it away. That's 2 big plays he's made. One that'll be in the newspaper tomorrow on an interception, and one that won't, but it was just as big.
Just 1, 2 and out on Monday. Caleros trying to avoid that here. 2nd and 10. 3 receivers near side. Lots of time, and now bounce around and throw, and this one might get picked. Owusu-Ansah can't squeeze it. Brandon Banks helped break it up, but Owusu-Ansah had an easier play on that than the first interception.
Yeah, that one he had a good shot at coming back. Again, the wide side corner, and Zach Collaros wanted to go over the middle in this area, but he gets a good drop here. Gregory Jones right in the middle takes away Tasker, and now he's trying to late throw it down the sideline, and Wasu Ansah right there should have had his second.
Medlock pulls down the snap, not a deep kick. A.J. Jefferson on one hop at midfield. And is able to edge his way into Ticat territory, so the Argos tie it and have good field position. In with our coach, Paul Lapalisse.
I'm excited to see Anthony Coombs with 2 touches early in this game. He's got 193 yards this year. 146 of those are yak yards. What are yak yards? Yards after the catch. Those are yards when somebody comes to take a hit on you, you make a miss. And last week he had average numbers, 22 yards, but he could make you miss. Out of these, watch this play right here. He makes 1 miss, 2 miss, 3 miss, big first down. And that's what you need when you have a lot of short crossing routes in your offense. That's why he's suited very well for this. Another 2nd and 5 situation, should have been tackled there, should have been tackled there. Again, creates 2 first downs. That's why he's great fit for this short passing game offense.
Well, not only that, Coach has a way cooler telestrator than me. I know that. But in tandem with Brandon Whitaker, it should be interesting tonight.
Argos start just beyond the 50. They drive a fly sweep to Owens, looking for some room, can't turn the corner, fumble the football. Adrian Tracy, and now out of a rugby scrum, it's picked up. And Emmanuel Davis comes up with it, and he'll haul it down inside the 20. Chad Owens dropped at the 51-yard line, and he remained on a knee down there.
And I'm not sure if the knee was down and he was down by contact. And I'm sure that they're going to take a quick look at this. He gets spun around here, tackled by Davis, and inside Tracy. I think that knee
like
may have been down by contact. Yeah. Take another look here. Knee is down now. Ball comes out right after. I think this is going to, every turnover is reviewed. And this might be coming back. There's the knee down, and he still has possession. Ball doesn't come out until after.
Adrian Tracy with the tackle. Looked like Craig Butler, the safety, comes in to knock it loose.
Some concern right away when you see Chad Owens get twisted around like that.
Did in the first meeting against the Ticats, and he missed action after that, 4 games. Injury earlier this year was an ankle. And Emmanuel Davis already has 3 defensive touchdowns this year.
Toronto offense coming back on the field now.
After review, the Toronto ball carrier was down by contact at the Hamilton 48-yard line. Toronto ball, 2nd down.
Argos dodge a big one there.
Do they ever? Instead of first down in the Argo territory around the 20, it's for Hamilton. It's 2nd and 7. Toronto at the Ticat 48. Argos are 6-0 this year when committing fewer turnovers. Ticats 6-1 in that department. They've traded turnovers so far in this first quarter. 2nd and 7. Here comes the rush. Now that falls incomplete. The screen intended for Cackard. And Taylor Reed was in the area with the flag down.
Play was a screen pass to Chad Cackard, as mentioned, and I'm wondering if the offensive line, even though it's a screen where you want to engage your D lineman briefly and then let them go.
Looks like there might be more than one penalty.
Not often you see a holding on a screen pass because the O-line just take a shot and then let the D-line go to get in behind the running back.
Offside, Hamilton, number 6. Illegal block, hands to the face, Toronto, number 67. Objectional conduct, Toronto, number 21. All penalties are balanced at the previous line of scrimmage. Repeat, second down.
So Vidal Hazelton goes to the sidelines. He's had that issue before, and Scott Milanovich gives him the look on the sidelines. Keeping for hands to the face, offside against Brian Hall.
Of the 3, that's the only one that really bothers the coach.
Second and a bunch. Harris pulls it down. Taylor Reed will drag him down at the Toronto 52. And the Argos punt team will have to come on.
Penalties an issue for both these teams last week. Of course, you expect it to be physical because of the rivalry, because it was Labor Day Monday, and this is the rematch. Both these teams need to clean up that area. Toronto Argonauts ranked 7th. They're averaging over 100 yards in penalties per game. Too many.
Brandon Banks held to 14 punt return yards on Monday. Awaiting the boot from Swayze Waters. Fielded at the 17. And surrounded again. He'll lose yards on the play. Good downfield cover. Devin Smith helping lead the charge. Well, Shaw Road to the Grey Cup continues this weekend. Make sure to watch the Rough Riders take on the Blue Bombers tomorrow at the Banjo Bowl. Action kicks off 6:30 Eastern, 3:30 Pacific on TSN 1, 3, and 4. Already over 34,000, almost 35,000 fans.
Matt Nichols started quarterback for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers in that one. What a difference a Mesa makes for the Saskatchewan Rough Riders in that Labor Day weekend game.
First down, Ticats. Hitch into the hands of Sinfield and looked around Underwood, couldn't find any room to run, and he is corralled. Ricky Foley there, Travis Hawkins on the scene. And
flag in the backfield.
Major foul, roughing the quarterback. Toronto, number 91. 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Tristan Opalaugo.
Opalaugo is coming off the edge on the top of your screen. Down in that 4-point stance, and in the opinion of the official, could have avoided that contact after Collaros threw the ball.
Come on, let's go. Hey.
9 roughing calls on Monday, which is about par for the course for Labor Day in Hamilton. You're shaking your head because I know that's too many.
That's about 7 too many.
First and 10, and get in the hands of this guy, Brandon Banks, trying to provide a little boost of energy for the Ticats on offense.
You know, Brandon Banks has been contained of late on the punt returns. I mean, he has 3 touchdowns, and I believe he has 2 that's been called back. So he's getting it done early in the season. So they're trying to get him involved in the game offensively. Maybe get him in a bit of a groove here, because in the last 3 games, just a 7.6-yard punt return average, and we're used to some biggies every game from number 16.
Matthew Boulay checks in as a tight end on 2nd and 2. And they run to that side of the field with Banks. He gets the edge and has the first down. And Hawkins and Banks spill some Gatorade. Is there a flag? There is on the play.
Yeah, there was.
Hawkins saying he tried to hold him up, but 15 yards for spillage.
Well, part of the issue here is not necessarily even this penalty. And again, there's Hawkins just trying to hold Brandon Banks from running into it, actually trying to slow him down.
Unnecessary roughness, Toronto, number 30. 15 yards from the end of the play. Automatic first down. There'll be one more play in this quarter.
So Hawkins has an argument here, but you shouldn't argue. And that's the extension now. Now, does that start to mess with him mentally to a point where he gives up a play here or maybe takes another penalty? I mean, that was not a good call by the official. However, it was called. Get ready for the next play.
Almost half a field of penalties charged against the Argos here in the first quarter. Collaros dancing around, and he'll get dragged down. There's Ricky Foley, who doesn't allow Collaros to walk on water on that play. The always loquacious Ricky Foley had a lot to say about the rematch and makes a play on the final play of the opening quarter. Good first quarter here on Wendy's Friday Night Football. Different first quarter tonight.
Yeah, different
first quarter tonight.
Yeah, different first quarter. The Argos have some balance in their offense with Brandon Whitaker and playing well in the back end. Owansu Ansah with a couple of big plays in the secondary. So they're playing better as defensive backs.
And the focus on trying to cool down a red-hot quarterback in Zach Collaros.
Yeah, Ricky Foley has lots of respect for Zach Collaros, especially after Monday when he threw for 400 yards. And he said this week, leading into it, there's the respect. He's playing awesome. But if we make a few adjustments, he won't be walking on water any longer, and this is a little adjustment. See how Foley's tracking him, not getting too far up the field, not allowing him to escape, and then he runs him down. Now, they've got to shore up some penalties. The Argos had 50 yards in penalties in that quarter. That's pace for 200.
Not a sack, no gain on the play, so 2nd and 10 as we start the second quarter. Collaros and company with the nose of the football just on the Argos side of the midfield stripe. And on a roll, direct traffic, throws back, and jump ball incomplete. A.J. Jefferson was in coverage against Terrell Sinkfield.
And the talking continues, and now the Argo teammates, and led by Greg Jones, goes over there to get those guys out of there. And Collaros, in that first quarter, actually looks like a mere mortal compared to the way he's been playing for the last month and a half.
Medlock kicking in. Chad Owens is back. Hasn't returned many. And has this one up near the 20-yard line. Let's check in with Matthew Shinetti on the sidelines.
Guys, to build off something Glenn said, absolutely, Trevor Harris was emotional this week, was angry. But Chad Owens went up to him this week and said, listen, relax. We believe in you. Trust your preparation. Don't worry about it. However, how could Trevor not be a little annoyed when he knows that his coaches, even in practice, comparing him to Zach Collaros, saying things like, maybe Zach would have made that throw in practice. And Harris is hearing about all the comparisons, although he told us, listen, I don't worry so much about beating Zach. I worry about being better than Zach. I personally am trying to figure out how the two are different. Guys?
Well, you're right. Scott Milanovich really challenging his quarterback. A penalty on the return has brought it back inside the 5-yard line. Argos are going to start at the 3, so the penalty parade continues here in the first half. And Scott Milanovich said, we expect our quarterbacks to be elite. And our fake to Cacker. And there is Kevin Elliott stepping out.
Yeah, I think what Matthew was talking about and what Trevor Harris was talking about when it comes to competing against Zach Collaros is that Trevor Harris competes against the defense, and he doesn't necessarily need to throw for over 400 yards like Collaros did on Monday, because it's not about him and numbers against Collaros and his numbers. It's just about the W. So Collaros had the big game Monday, statistically and in the win-loss column. And Harris just wants to win.
2nd and 5. Here come the Ticats. And Harris in trouble is dropped. Was able to stretch out to avoid the safety. And Craig Butler brings him down at the 1.
Avoided it, but might have to give one up anyway. You're that deep.
Yeah.
And it's all out pressure. Orlando Steinauer sends the house. 2 guys free, including the safety Craig Butler. No escape lanes for Trevor Harris.
Good job, Hip.
So the safety blitz gets home. second sack of the game for the Ticats. And does Waters take a knee with Banks awaiting at the Toronto 50? But penalties, the cause of this. Owens' return was out to the 20, but
Time count violation. Toronto, number 34. Repeat third down.
so we'll take a knee again. So there it is. The 2 points now are officially on the board. The Ticats have regained the lead, 9-7. Quick start again for Zach Collaros in this game with a touchdown pass early to Matt Coates. Number 23 of the year for number 4. Made the trip. Looks like they've got a whole section here. 9-7 with Zach Collaros in the offense getting set to come out after the Argo safety. Swayze Waters to send it downfield. Banks started at his 15 and up around the 35, and after a quiet first 10 minutes or so penalty-wise, another flag gets tossed.
You know, on Monday, Scott Milenovich talked about they watched the game film and they took
During
a
the
look.
return, holding, Hamilton, number 33, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Took a look at some of the things that they could make adjustments and maybe make it tougher on Zach Collaros, who had 400 yards passing. And one of the things they said was the linebacker depth in their drops. Now I'm going to show you Matt Black in an example here. Black drops underneath on Monday at Tim Hortons Field. If he gets another 3-4 yards of depth here, he is right underneath this throw. This was an issue not just for Matt Black. I'm not picking on him. It was a linebacker issue for Toronto. Small adjustments that they needed to make. A couple of yards here and there. He has that interception. We'll see if they make the adjustment here tonight.
Frederick Plessius penalty takes it back to the 28-yard line. A handoff straight ahead, and Holly squirts through with a big run up to the 40. Stopped by the safety, Jermaine Gabriel, but that's a 12-yard run for Holly straight ahead.
Yeah, nice looking blocks up front. He just isn't touched through that linebacking core and the defensive line. Comes right off the right side, a down block there from Peter Diakowski.
What are you doing? Hey, yo, screw that up back.
So a loss there, down back to the 34-yard line. And it will be 2nd and 16.
Casey Grian, defensive coordinator, trying to make some adjustments right now. I can see the 2nd and long. Already Greg Jones is about 10 yards off the line of scrimmage in his depth.
They send 4. Calero stands in. There's a flag down. And Underwood, the catch. He'll be short of the first down. Matt Black the stop up at the 48. And a flag in the backfield against the Ticats. See if the Argos take the penalty.
With these linebackers and how deep they are from the line of scrimmage. I know it's 2nd and long, but they want to get more depth like they saw in the film.
Hamilton, number 56, penalties decline, third down.
Saw so much so that Greg Jones on that play actually got about 20-25 yards deep on a receiver. So Collaros had to dump it underneath. They had the penalty anyway, but we're short.
We had this discussion last week in Saskatchewan. We would have been tempted to take that penalty, make it 2nd and 27 for field position. Although with that said, Chad Owens with a return to the 35. We do have a flag on the return. But Trevor Harris and the Argos will have the football. Down by 2 here early in the second quarter.
Let's go. Hey, you don't always get a second chance. We've got that opportunity tonight. Make this count. Grab a knee.
Short and sweet tonight.
Make the second chance count. I mentioned off the top, most players have to really fight through the short week, but when you lose in the first half of the doubleheader, can't wait to get back out there.
Ticats called for no yards. It was a 15-yard penalty. And Trevor Harris got to get downfield. Wants Elliott, who tried to get through the defender. Emmanuel Davis down. Let's see if this is called offensively or defensively.
I think there's no question it's going to be an offensive foul. Kevin Elliott just pushed Emmanuel Davis right in the back. I'm not sure he's going to track that ball down anyway. There's
offensive pass interference. Toronto, number 13, 10-yard penalty, remains first down.
What Elliott didn't do was stop and not look for the football.
Yeah, we saw that in Edmonton. I'm wondering what he was talking about on the way back, and that if I'm Scott Milinovic, that's a concern. All this talking after a penalty called on one of his players.
Oh, it's 1st and 20. Fake inside, and Coombs unable to hold on. But the penalties appear to have taken the momentum out of an Argo team that looked like they were in bounce-back mode after a slow start.
Yeah, I know they want to play physical. In fact, Vidal Hazelton right here, watch him on this crack block on Simone Lawrence. This is going to be physical. And this is part of the game that you expect, and that's okay. That's all good. Lawrence got up, a little pushing after that. But the penalties, you're right, Chris.
2nd and 20. Look out. They get to Harris. The ball pops loose. Corner blitz by Ed Geedy. And a ball scooped up by Hazelton. There is a flag, though, in front of the Argo bench that may be going against Hamilton.
Corner and halfback blitz. Ed Gainey, Brandon Stewart.
Illegal contact on a receiver. Hamilton, number 20. 10-yard penalty, remains second down.
That's just the 4th illegal contact penalty against the Ticats secondary this season, but a costly one.
There he is there, Emmanuel Davis. Remember, he was the guy who got pushed in the back from Kevin Elliott, and he wants to step up. Now, you used to be able to do that. Last year, that was not a problem. This year, it's a penalty because it's past the 5-yard zone. It takes away this play made by the other half of that secondary.
Another bullet dodged by the Argos. 2nd and 10. Harris hit as he delivered, and a drop ball. Elliott can't bring that up off his shoe tops.
Yeah, Trevor Harris slowed to get up. He had to chuck it and duck there.
Taking some punishment once again. On Monday, it was the knee they kept checking and trying to keep loose. That was more upper body, I believe.
Defense is a load, eh? Blitz from almost everybody on that defense.
They are ferocious, that Ticat defense. And they've created 3 2-and-outs so far tonight. Waters kicking to Banks. Not deep. And does Banks get the edge? He does. A lot of room to run. Look out. Stood up there by Waters, and does the ball pop loose? Hervé Tournier got a hit in on Banks after Waters got in his way, but the Ticats come up with it. 36-yard punt, and Speedy Banks brings it back 43.
Weeks for Brandon Banks. He gets it because on the outside, Shane Herbert is going to lose contain here on the special teams. He's not outside, should be number 8, and make sure that Brandon Banks turns up the field. He gets the edge, and now a big block down the field here by Cleishon Page. Here it comes. Give him a few more.
Swayze Waters saves a touchdown. Ticats first down, Argo 39-yard line. Calero 6 for 10, 66. a touchdown and an interception so far as we get to the midway point of the second quarter. And Holly with another decent run down to the 34 and has 6 more.
I think Zach Collaros was audibly on the line of scrimmage there, and Ray Hawley had to come in from being outside and get the call first. And then when he got the call, he realized, watch him, he's way out here at the bottom of your screen. And then he goes in, what, wait a minute, what was the call? And you're calling what? You're calling, oh, that's to me. I need to be standing right here. Thank you.
Second and 4, 4 receivers near side, into the hands of Hawley again, and he is able to find his way down the sideline for a first down. And runs over an Argo defender at the end of it for an 11-yard pickup.
Well played by Zach Collaros here. It's just sort of that little almost receiver screen to their running back. But watch Collaros take a look to his left, try and freeze the linebackers. Watch, he's going to take the football here. Look to his left, freeze the linebackers, flip his shoulder around, and give his running back a chance. Those are small things, but they add up to big yards.
11 more for Hawley. Have I mentioned he's from Louisiana Tech? Matt Dunnigan's school. Hawley into the end zone. Jump ball off of the fingertips of A.J. Jefferson, covering Terrence Tolliver. And a flag down in the Argo secondary.
Legal contact on a receiver. Toronto, number 9. 10-yard penalty. Second down. Or first down.
Well, that's the 6th illegal contact penalty against Toronto. These two tied for second, coming in fewest pass interference illegal contact penalties. The leader, Calgary.
Wonsa Ansu has made some good plays. He's a corner on that wide field. He's made 3 or 4 real good plays, including a first quarter interception. Let's see the illegal contact. I don't know about that. Wow. That's a couple of bad calls now tonight. No illegal contact there.
First down. Here's Hawley. Little stutter step, and he's brought down after a short gain.
Works in tandem with Ken Austin, Tommy Condell, the offensive coordinator. One of those guys that is in the football bunker in the Tim Horton Field offices from dawn till dusk, putting together the game plan.
And probably some late hours on this short week.
Yeah.
Second and 9. Send out 6. A pump now is thrown, and it will be caught, but short of the first down. A wrestling match between A.J. Jefferson and Terrence Tolliver. And our flag sign has been illuminated
Major
once
foul.
again.
Unnecessary roughness, roughing the passer. Toronto, 91. Half distance at the end of the play of the goal. Automatic first down.
Second on Oplahugo. He starts from back off the line of scrimmage here, and he gets to the quarterback, but it's just as he's throwing it. But watch what he does after. Extends and then throws Collaros to the ground. No need to do that. Bad decision. Don't look at the ref. Not their fault. We've seen a couple of bad calls on their behalf, but that wasn't one of them.
No, first and goal. Big to Hawley, and a little sidearm touchdown. Luke Tasker. Penalty aided touchdown drive, and Tasker has his 4th of the year.
I'm not sure what you can do about it if you're Scott Milenovich right now. You want to work through the week to eliminate these penalties, but take nothing away from the Hamilton Ticats taking full advantage of the penalties from Toronto. And see, Oplahugo lost containment the play after he got a penalty and complained to the refs all the way back to the huddle. When you lose containment on the next play, you've lost your focus and your concentration.
Well, it was the illegal contact penalty that might have had the defense off the field that will have Scott Milenovich doing a slow burn. Not that he won't be upset with the Oplahugo penalty for other reasons. Extra point good. As the Ticats make it a 9-point lead.
Yeah, maybe some Argo fans saying, you know, he didn't know that he threw it and all that kind of stuff, but they know that the quarterbacks are going to be protected, and if you try and throw a guy to the ground like that, it's excessive and it's going to be called. And Milanovic is letting them know about it on the sideline right now, because it not only went to the play that extended the drive and put Hamilton down the goal line, but watch Opolugo here. He gets caught too far. Instead of going up the field, which he should, he gets caught too far in the run, probably still mad by the last penalty, and now he loses contain. Gives Collaros an extra second or two to throw the pass, and the touchdown to Luke Tasker.
And you talked about positioning and how being just a step out of place can be the difference. And look who gets to celebrate the touchdown. The backup punter, Andy Fantuz, puts it into the Ticat section. Pretty good accuracy.
Well, yeah, I was going to say that's very accurate punt. Scott Milanovic talking to his defenders and then trying to clean up. Hey, we've seen a couple that were bad calls by the officials. Wansa Ansah, that was not illegal contact in my books, and the one on Hawkins out of bounds on Brandon Banks wasn't a penalty.
But with that said, still way too many.
Yeah.
Return up to the 30-yard line. Trevor Harris has gone 3 and out 3 consecutive times since a touchdown drive that got the Argos on even terms, and there's the penalty story.
One of the issues for Harris offensively over the last couple of games has been inability to get the deep ball. We saw one try to Kevin Elliott. He got an offensive pass interference call, again, an unnecessary penalty, one he shouldn't have taken. But in the last 3 games, just one completion over 30 yards for Trevor Harris. They haven't been able to push the ball deep.
Start on the ground. Brandon Whitaker. Decent carry. Adrian Tracy, who has replaced the injured Eric Norwood with the tackle up at the 37.
Now Trevor Harris's longest pass tonight is 16-yarder. He did try to get it to Elliott on the deep throw. If they can get to some play action, that can hold the D-line a little bit, but that means that Brandon Whitaker has to be a consistent element of this offense. Then they can hold the D-line for just a peek to the running back and maybe give Trevor Harris a little more time to get the ball deep.
Brandon Whitaker, 5 touches, 38 yards as the Argos look at 2nd and 3. And Harris over the middle in traffic and off the hands of Taylor Reed. I think he wanted Brandon Whitaker initially out of the backfield, but he was picked up. And it's 3rd down.
Different looks. Orlando Steinauer getting Simone Lawrence active. He's going to come right through a gap. He's picked up by Bruce Campbell. But Trevor Harris can feel the pressure around him, rushes the throw, and he can't get that completion. Another 2 and out.
Steinauer frustrating that Argo offense once again. 4 consecutive 2 and outs. Better boot by Waters. And it is Banks at his 22, not going any further. Devin Smith, 1st down as we go back to the sidelines. Matthew Shinetti.
Guys, mentioning Orlando Steinauer, a couple of weeks ago, Justin Hickman said before the Ticats faced the Edmonton Eskimos that he could sense that Orlando Steinauer wanted to play. Remember, Steinauer is an over 10-year veteran, or was of the CFL. And the reason Hickman says that is because he says he has a connection with Steinauer because they were both only children. He says, I can read him. I can tell his little emotions, little details. I asked Steinauer about it before the game. He just laughed at me and he said, I have no idea how he can read that. Yeah, sure, we share maybe a similar family life. But maybe that shows me that I'm so close to my players now that I get them and they get me. Guys.
Boy, they're getting him and his defense.
Oh, yeah.
1st down, Collaros stayed in the pocket, now takes off, and a feet first slide at the 35. And a pickup of, well, they're going to mark him shy of that, so call it 7 and 2nd and 3.
Yeah, you can tell in this defense creating turnovers. And I talked to Courtney Stephen before the game, wide side corner for Hamilton. He was saying that they practice turnovers. Their goal in practice is 4 turnovers a game. Steinauer sets that as their goal. They want to, or excuse me, every practice, 4 turnovers.
2nd and 3. Quick jump by Hawley, and Sinkfield's got it over the middle. Did some damage last week, and Sinkfield's got another big catch here into Argo territory, down to the Toronto 51.
Number 2 receiver on that slant. He was going once again against Hawkins, who bails out to try and go for the football and misses it.
5 catches, 110 yards, 2 touchdowns for Sinkfield on Monday. First down, lots of time for Colaros, and Terrence Tolliver, did he bobble that or bring it in? Ended up with the football, but they're discussing the bobble, and they're saying incomplete.
Saying incomplete because he didn't have control on the sideline. Tolliver wants to see if Kent Austin might want to challenge this. Let's see. Does he have control? Bobbling, or is that considered control? Did have the left foot in. And a challenge flag out from Kent Austin.
Tolliver, their leading receiver in yards, and came into the game 4th in the CFL. That bobble may have been just prior
Hamilton
to him
is
getting
challenging
out.
the previous play of an incomplete pass, feeling that it was completed. This will be reviewed.
Yeah, and the other question I have, Chris, is when you take one more look at it, is it a bobble or does he just have control with the one hand? No, he is losing the handle a little bit and switches it to the right hand. We lose his foot on that look.
No question he finished with the ball, but does he have clear possession as he steps out?
Now this is ruled incomplete. Let's take a look at it at regular speed, which the command center will do to get the perspective.
Cotton Bowl MVP out of LSU, who has been getting better by the week.
Now first-year receiver that is, here we go.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed as an incomplete pass. 2nd down.
So that slight, subtle exchange from one hand to the other, enough to rule it not possession when he was out of bounds. And Colaros now 10 of 15 on the night, 112 yards.
The first-year guys in the league. Tolliver leads the way. Get that one.
2nd and 10 from the Argo 50. 3-man rush, and Colaros steps up. Can he get to the first down stick? Lunging forward, he's going to be about a yard short. See Landon Race on that offensive line. He's in at right guard. Ryan Bobbin has dressed for this game, but Rice has spent most of this first half at the guard position. It's going to be 3rd and 1 when we come back from the 3-minute warning in Toronto. In his 9th year, and that's a fresh set of downs for the Ticats.
Now I go back, Chris, to that play on 2nd and long where Ricky Foley gets up the field. It's just 3-man pressure here from the Toronto Argonauts. He gets up the field too far and sells out. With 3-man pressure, they can't let Zach Colaros just have an open running lane like he did. He gets close to the first down. They convert on 3rd and less than a yard, and Foley sold out and got pinned by Jake Olsen.
3 carries, 15 yards for Colaros on the ground. Back to the air, or is he? He gets stripped of the football. There is a flag, and the Argos come up with it. It's Martin Wright, the newcomer at defensive end, and that's a live football. I don't think the whistle ever went. Did the Ticats get it back?
Well, Oklahoma just tried to start to make amends for his penalties in this first half, because he gets the strip.
Martin Wright got up to celebrate, didn't realize he'd never been touched. Or had he been?
Change of possession, first down.
Spin move by Oklahoma. He gets the strip. There's the recovery. No one touches him down by contact. So it's still live.
Illegal block, hands to the face, Toronto, number 91. This play has been ruled as a fumble, then recovered by Toronto, then fumbled again and recovered by Hamilton. Therefore, Hamilton would have a first down at that point.
And that will end up on the blooper reel. Martin Wright made a big defensive play and then had a brain cramp.
And was it Opolo-Ugo that got the hands to the face?
Hamilton has accepted the penalty of hands to the face. It's a 10-yard penalty, first down.
So in fairness to Wright, because the penalty was against Toronto, Hamilton was going to have the football anyway, but that's an embarrassing situation. So that's 93 yards in penalties if you're scoring at home.
Their average per game is just over 100. They're almost there in the first half, the Argos. And Opolo-Ugo, I believe that hands to the face was on him after making the strip.
Or did they make the call in conferring again? Did they make the call going the wrong way?
No, when I looked at the replay, Chris, Opolo-Ugo on Olsen has his hands up in his grill. You're going to see it here. 91 to the right of your screen. It'll come back in here and watch.
Yep.
Right there, hands up to the face. So there's the penalty.
If you're Martin Wright, you're glad the penalty is against Toronto. Because it might help everybody forget what he just did.
And Opolo-Ugo has been playing so well over the last 4 games. I mean,
come on, ref. Yeah, that young man just summed up the opinion of a lot of folks here wearing double blue in the stands tonight. And maybe channeling Scott Milanovich. Not sure what the delay.
9 tackles, 4 sacks in the last 4 games for Tristan Opolo-Ugo. Fumble, down. He's trapped. I see a future ref. He's engaged.
Ready to continue. 1st and 10. Inside the 30, flag down, looked like the Ticats were offside. Holly with it, and he gets cut down by Owusu-Ansah. Our young friend in the stands is not going to be frustrated about this call, I don't think.
Offside. Hamilton, number 17. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
Yep.
There you go.
Good call, ref.
Good. Hi, Mom.
Luke Tasker jumped the gun. To give the young guy equal time.
Oh, yeah.
So 1st and 15. This feels like the longest possession of the game, and it hasn't moved very far. Play clock running down. They get it off. A pump from Caleros, and now underneath for Tasker, and a quick close. Owusu-Ansah was on the prowl. And another flag in the Ticat backfield. I swear we went at least the first 10 minutes without a flag, but since then, we've had a parade.
Major foul, roughing the passer, Toronto, number 92. 15-yard penalty, first down.
Take a look. I think they got the wrong number. That's Cleon Lang.
They don't have a 92. It's Lang for the low hit on the ankles. And the Argos into triple digits with just under 2 minutes left here in the first half. What's that, 3 on the roughing the passer. Caleros, another pump, and into the end zone once. Tolliver knocked away. A.J. Jefferson.
It's one area of improvement for Toronto from Monday is their back end. They're making some plays back there. Once Ansah has made a couple. Jefferson with a couple of knockdowns. He tracks down Tolliver there, and as the ball arrives, swats it away.
So 2nd and 10, and big part of the game. Argos defense can chalk up a victory if they hold them to 3, and the Ticats can take a stranglehold here late in the first half with a touchdown. There's another pump, and they'll throw the screen, and it is dropped. Sinkfield can't hang on. Devin Smith, or check that, Martin Wright was tracking him, and the drive stalls for Ken Austin. So Medlock and the field goal unit come on. And the Argos will have some time left here in the first half to try and get a little closer. But Medlock trying to make it a 12-point lead. Automatic. 19-7 Hamilton. Well, a mind erased, a body of clues, blind spot, new series Mondays, starting September 21st on CTV, following Gotham.
That's not a show about left tackles and the blind side, is it? No, I think it's a different type of show. I'm not sure what Scott Milanovic can say at halftime to talk to his team about these penalties.
Well, his pregame speech was short, but if he's going to deal with penalties, it might be a little longer.
Yeah. Gotta be.
Toronto with just over a minute to go, and they call Gurley's number for the second time in front of Ed Gainey for an 8-yard pickup on first down.
Take a look at what Alondo Steinauer does with his secondary. Look at how they're all in a straight line. And they stay there until the snap of the ball. So Trevor Harris has to look at that and say, I don't know who's deep and who's underneath and who's covering what.
Second down play should be enough for the first down. I was just thinking, going back to the old days when you were back there, did you ever line up like that?
Yeah, well, it was a strategy because you can disguise by sort of coming up and showing blitz and then dropping out. Steinauer takes it to a different level and says, let's disguise what we're doing coverage-wise, put them all in a row before the snap of the ball. The quarterback doesn't read anything. He's just got to wait until he gets the football in his hands.
First and 10. Harris underneath, and Hazelton took a look before securing the football. 10 catches, first meeting against Hamilton. 4.
See that?
Bad drop here.
I like that. You see Trevor Harris? He was get back in here and waving to his receiver as he stood out there, kind of looking at his hands like receivers do sometimes. And he just get back in here, forget about that, get back on track. They're going to need some leadership both sides of the ball.
Hazelton at least a drop and a penalty in the first half, and they're going to call the draw to Cackert, and he gets punished at the 50 and has only 4. And now a little dust up away from the play, and the punt team will have to come on. So another stop for Orlando Steinauer's Ticat defense.
Talk about guys that have been playing well. How about play of Justin Hickman, tied for 4th in the league in quarterback sack department, but more than just that, and the constant pressure and how he disrupts offenses.
Well, as Matthew reported, he's right in sync with his coach. Waters the boot. Lands at the 14 for Banks, who is contained. Well, we mentioned Hickman, and his relationship with the coach, and he let us in on how the coach approaches each game and how he is looking for perfection.
I don't know if he'll like me saying this, but he wants to bury people. Like, he's stoic and he's quiet on it, but he wants to crush people. That's the mindset that we have. We want to go out there. We want to put up goose eggs on the scoreboard. We want to score 5 touchdowns in the game. We want to get 3, 4, 5 picks, 6, 7 sacks. We want to do stuff on defense that hasn't been seen before. He's inspiring. He rides us. He makes it tough. But yeah, we'll definitely run through a wall for him.
Well, they've been at it again. With the exception of one drive, they have pretty well corralled the Argos here in the first half.
Yeah, they don't just stop teams. 8 touchdowns on defense, 6 off interceptions, 2 off fumble returns, and they practice it. It's amazing what happens when you focus on an aspect of the game in practice, how it'll translate over time into the game day, and it certainly has for this Hamilton defense. Making it tough on Trevor Harris.
Devin Smith shaken up, has taken a knee. Vince Agnew comes in. Ken Austin not buying it. Was that Brandon Smith? Excuse me, Brandon Smith was shaken up.
So that's the great matchup here again tonight. Orlando Steinauer and his outstanding defense. You take a look at those 2 losses to Montreal, by the way. They didn't get the turnovers in that game and ended up losing. But when his team plays the defense that they're accustomed to and they're getting those turnovers, almost 4 games.
Vince Agnew checks into the Argo defense here in the dying seconds, first half, and Hawley with a little shake. And up to the 35-yard line. Has a first down. Time for one more play.
The one big drive that Toronto had, and the good drive, the touchdown drive, was a lot of Brandon Whitaker. So if maybe there's an answer, maybe it's in balance for Scott Milanovic when he comes back in the second half. First thing he's got to clean up is the penalties at halftime. But the second thing to get Trevor Harris going, maybe more Brandon Whitaker.
Going to run the clock out here, put down a knee, and the Ticats will have the halftime lead. 19-7 Ticats as they look for the sweep. Let's head back to the studio. The panel and Rod Smith.
This team has been playing undisciplined football. And what this does to a team is it allows the other team to stay on the field, or it forces your team off the field. You have to play football, offense, defense, special teams, but you also have to play penalty-free football as much as you can. If not, it's going to be difficult. It's difficult to beat the Hamilton Tiger Cats regardless if you're giving them the penalties or not. But if you continue giving them all these penalties, 108 yards in penalties is not going to hack it. They have to come out and play some better football this second half.
Okay, and what about the Hamilton side of things with Zach Collaros? It was just brilliant last week. Not as brilliant, certainly, but getting better in that half.
Yeah, to credit Toronto's intensity. You know, I could just tell by them coming out at halftime. Obviously, Ricky Foley's interview with Matthew Shinetti before the ball game. Yeah, they've amped it up a little bit here, and their pride's been hurt. And so they're coming out and they're playing football like they should have last week, and it's shown. And they've really gotten to Zach Collaros. Now, this is a terrible football, but I credit the pressure. That needed to be picked off. Zach Collaros here, we typically don't see poor decisions like this. I know Ken Austin, Tommy Condell talked about his quarterback on that decision there, but believe me, most of this pressure and the bad decisions by Zach Collaros. Now, it's not a bad first half. 11-18 for 116, 2 touchdowns. I think a lot of quarterbacks would take that.
Yes.
But the pressure's been applied by Toronto, and it's affecting the young quarterback in the first half of play.
Game is far from over, and here's why. Trevor Harris is excellent at responding from adversity. Yes, he has had 4 tune-outs, statistically not very good, but watch the opening possession that he has. He throws an interception, and folks, it's a bad one. He focuses on one area of the football field. He throws it, break on the ball, interception. What does he do? Next time they get the football, he takes them the entire length of the field, all the way down. They get their first touchdown of the game, throws a nice pass there, nice elusive move, takes the football, heads up field, takes a heck of a shot right there. I know it's 12 points. It looks like Hamilton's has this game. Far from. if the Toronto Argonauts would just stop self-destructing, this would be an entirely different game.
Argo kid's got it right.
Yeah, he was. He was certainly.
He said a bad word.
I think he did. Was that his folks right beside him there too? But yes, there are a lot of frustrated Argo fans the way that second quarter went. We'll be back with Paul Lapalisse and the GMC Coaches Playbook. 19-7, Hamilton at the half.
4 days later, 70 kilometers up to QEW. It's the Labor Day rematch. Caleros throws, and it's an easy touchdown. Matt Coates has his first Canadian Football League touchdown. And they'll toss it out. Whitaker trying to get the edge. Butler in pursuit. Touchdown. Fake to Hawley, and a little sidearm touchdown. Luke Tasker.
And Tim Hortons is making sure you catch all of the biggest moments of this season. Those unbelievable catches, those hard-hitting tackles, you can watch them live as they happen, or you can watch them again, and you can share them with friends too. Go to tsn.ca/CFL must-see. At the half of the Rogers Centre in Toronto, it is the Ticats now leading it 19-7 over the Argos. And Zach Caleros, that Argo defense did a pretty good number on him earlier on, but in the second quarter, really, the penalties were a big problem. The guys talked about that. Let's talk more about that with Paul Lapalisse now at the Rogers Centre in the GMC Coaches Playbook. I guess it's difficult to completely assess how that defense is done against Caleros because of other problems, Coach, but they look pretty good against him early on.
Yeah, I think everybody watching the Double Blue is worried about the defense and how they're going to show up. I like what the Argonauts defense have done early. They've kept them in this football game. Think about the one touchdown that was scored by the Ticats was off a short field by an Argonaut turnover. So they've done a good job keeping this football team in the game early on. There's only 116 passing yards for the Ticats, 185 total yards, and they're taking Zach. You'll see a great pick right here. Usuransi here gets a nice interception. But the thing they're doing is they're pressuring Zach Caleros. They're getting to him with their pass rush and forcing him in a situation where he's uncomfortable, which didn't happen last week. You see Foley right there with it. Another play. Okay, they're doing their best to try to keep these guys. It's a great play by Jefferson. Try to keep them guys off balance. But then this is the problem. They've gotten the penalties. I know some of these are really close that they're going to have problems with. You can't do that. You can't be in a position where you're going to throw the guy down late. You want to hold him up. And I think this last one's going to be on Cleon Lang here. You just cannot ever dive at the legs when the quarterback's in the throwing position. But there's some good things here. They've got to do a better job offensively. They've had 5 2-and-outs. They've got to find a way to score some points. But the defense is showing up this week. You'd love to see them get a takeaway to help this offense.
Paul Lapalisse, the GMC Coaches Playbook. Thank you. Yeah, you're right about the penalties. I mean, on pace right now for 20 for over 200 yards, unless they can reel that in. Ticats, not their greatest half, but they got a 12-point lead. Second half kickoff getting closer here in Wendy's.
Thanks, Rod. Well, this time last Monday, Zach Caleros had 294 yards passing. Toronto's doing a great job on defense. They have to do a better job on offense, and they also have to discontinue the penalties, and they can come back and win this game.
Well, Zach Caleros has thrown touchdown passes now to 10 different receivers this season, the most recent. Matt Coates. Here he is now with Matthew Shinetti.
So, Matt, what are you going to do with that football now that you scored your first professional touchdown?
Well, I'm keeping it for sure. I'll probably give it to my parents just to, give them a thankful significance for all the support they've given me over the years.
Take us through that play. Did you know that the ball was coming to you?
Yeah, the play was designed for me, aside from some other advantage shots, and I just did my assignment, and I executed, and I assumed my teammates would do the same thing like they always do, and just came open like we planned it to.
How does this offense empower receivers?
It just gives everyone it makes everyone a threat on the field. So, I mean, it doesn't matter where you line up. You can any person can get the ball the way we do things. So, I mean, it really makes everyone a playmaker.
Thanks for this.
No problem.
Matt speaking with Matt, who scored the touchdown right after Harris picked off Harris. That made it 7-0. The Argos came back, but it's been all Ticats since then. 19-7. Hamilton, second half kickoff coming up here on TSN.
Battle of Southern Ontario. The Ticats trying to cap a sweep. They have a 19-7 lead as we head to the second half. But first, Matthew Shinetti with Chad Owens.
Chad, when you look back at that first half, what was the most disappointing part of it?
I'd say there's some missed opportunities. Defense made some plays, gave us chances. We were right there in it. The first quarter, they struggled a little bit, and we needed to capitalize there. But we're right. We're right where we want to be. We're going to be all right.
In terms of the leadership of this entire team, you talked about it yesterday, how important it is going into a game like this. How important is it going to be in the second half?
It's huge. We just got to keep everyone positive and believing. We've been in this situation before. We've been in worse situations, and we've crawled out of it. We're going to fight. Believe that.
Thanks, you.
Well, they've got to kickstart the offense that had only 20 yards in the second quarter and eliminate the penalties. How about 86 penalty yards in the second quarter? And 101 for a first half. They didn't take their first penalty until there was under 3 minutes to go in the first quarter.
Yeah, and I saw 2 that were bad calls, but 9 is too many in and of itself. So you can bet that Scott Milenovich talked about that at halftime. And get the ball first, so you can get that offense going.
Brandon Smith and Chad Cackert are back. They flip-flop positions, and they want the ball in Cackert's hand. Up over the 35. This is why Cackert up near the 50-yard line. They did a couple of exchanges back there to confuse Justin Medlock and got it to the guy they wanted.
It's a good defense, Hamilton Tiger Cats. They'll make it very difficult on a young quarterback. He was just 6 of 12 for 68 yards. Had the interception early on that turned into the 7 points quickly on the touchdown throw from Zach Collaros. A couple of catches for Torrey Gurley. I think a key to this may be Brandon Whitaker or Chad Cackert, depending on who they play at tailback.
Gonna hand it off to Cackert straight ahead to start. And at the 54-yard line, he's met up by the middle linebacker, Taylor Reed.
Fullback goes out, and Anthony Coombs comes in for the Argos. Coach Lapo talking about Coombs and how valuable he can be in these situations. Second and just around 7 or 8. You make one guy miss, it's a first down.
5 receivers. Cackert stays in. The pass a little behind the target, but Hazelton brings it in for a first down.
And backside, little ISO play to the backside of the formation, and short side blitz coming from Simone Lawrence. Picked up, and that was a tough catch by Hazelton. But a big one. Was behind him and low.
Just secured it. First down and back in the hands of Cackert, and he gets driven to the turf by Adrian Tracy in his 4th game.
And in there for Eric Norwood. Guy out of William and Mary. Take a look at Adrian Tracy. And
heard of that school?
Yes, I have heard of that school. In fact, Argo fans will know all about that school and the home of Mike Pinball Clemens. Mike Tomlin also went to William and Mary. We saw him last night. Our National Football League coverage.
Season opener. 2nd and 8 once again, and the throw is incomplete. Dropped by Kevin Elliott. The big 3 have not put their fingerprints on this game yet.
It's been a bit of a lolly, points to himself. That was he had to drop Kevin Elliott in the second quarter as well. You take a look at the top 5 first-year receivers in the CFL this year. There's 4 of them on the list in this game.
This is interesting. 3rd and 8. Ball at the Hamilton 46. And looks like they're going for it. Officials calling for a new ball. Didn't see any change of personnel. Not going to try a 53-yarder with Brandon Banks, and electing not to pin. Unconventional, we'll call it.
Right in that bubble zone. Let's see.
3rd and 8. And Harris throws, and it's complete to Gurley. A big first down and a big gamble by Scott Milanovich that keeps his offense on the field.
You could tell that Milanovich knew they needed a spark, and it was in that bubble area where it's a little bit too close to punt, a little bit too far to kick a field goal. He thought he'd give his offense a little boost and confidence builder and said, go get it. And Gurley comes up with it, comes back to the ball nicely.
And not a complete disaster if you turn it over at the 46, but gutsy nevertheless. Now, fake to Cackert, Harris on a roll, the flag, and an open man. And that's caught by Hazelton. Let's find out if it's coming back. It is a hold, and it is coming back.
Holding, Toronto, number 43. 10-yard penalty, remains first down.
Simon's the fullback, Alexandre Dupuis.
Lines up as a tight end here outside of Chris Van Zyl, the tackle, and there's no question about it, just up around the neck of Adrian Tracy from William and Mary. That's Tracy getting out of his stance quickly and putting Dupuis in a bind. Try and block it.
Argos over their season per game average. Look out! Tracy there, but Harris gets it away. It's an incomplete pass, but Harris avoids the sack from the William and Mary product, who suddenly is a focal point of Orlando Steinhauer's defense.
Well, wasn't biting at all on the play action. And Trevor Harris needed him to take a few steps inside to get out and outside around the edge. He just didn't get it, because if Tracy comes in here, he's got a shot to the play action, and he does it straight upfield, and now it's trouble.
Seventh play of the drive, 2nd and 20. Here comes Eric Harris on a blitz. Harris stands in, he's got an open man, and a completion for a touchdown. Torrey Gurley. 42-yard touchdown strike, and Steinhauer wonders how he was that wide open.
Good block by Anthony Coombs. Without this, Trevor Harris gets hit in the back from the backside. He takes out the blitzing linebacker Eric Harris. That gives Trevor Harris a chance to look down the field, and Gurley's outside and in the end zone.
Got in behind Courtney Stephen, and Gurley has his 7th touchdown of the season, and they'll go for 2. Trying to get within 4. Cackert and Coombs in the backfield. Coombs releases into the back for Owens, and he can't reach it. Eric Harris was in the area, and the extra points unsuccessful. 6-point Ticat lead after the 42-yard touchdown pass. Harris to Gurley. 59 yards in just under 5 minutes. A drive notable for a 3rd and 8 gamble to keep it alive.
Yeah, this is an assist here to Kevin Elliott. That's the inside receiver with speed, and he's going to pull the attention of Courtney Stephen. And that allows Torrey Gurley to get free down the sideline. Hold it there. See that great speed right there by Elliott. That pulls the corner in Courtney Stephen inside and opens up a little room for Gurley.
Now we may know why they didn't want to punt at the 46 or go for the extra point. Dave Stala kicking off, and has Swayze Waters been injured once again, we saw Stala come in in a kicking capacity in week 1. Let's check in with Matthew Giannetti.
Guys, at this point, the Argos are not saying exactly what Swayze Waters has, what injury he might have, but they're not saying that he's out of the game. They're saying he's, quote, in a holding pattern, whatever that means, but Swayze Waters is not out of the game. But Dave Stella, before that kickoff, and as the Argos were going for that 2-point conversion, was practicing his kicking. Guys?
Dave Stella had a field goal negated by penalty in Fort McMurray. Told me afterwards he was really upset. It's on his bucket list, so maybe tonight. Luke Tasker a catch and a first down into Argo territory as the Ticats will try to respond after the Argo touchdown.
Based on that report, maybe that Swayze Waters will be left in for field goals and Stalo on kickoff, so he doesn't have to overextend that leg. Maybe felt a tweak somewhere.
He was also involved in the tackle on Brandon Banks on the big return, so Ticat first down, Argo 53. Caleros, 4 receivers far side, was looking that way, and he's got Tasker again. Remember that Luke Tasker missed the first 4 games of the year, and yet was still 11th in the league receiving coming into the game, and 6 more catches for 64 so far.
And right now, 3rd in the CFL in yards receiving per game, just shy of 100 per game.
Next catch will be his 40th of the year. First down, over the middle, there he is, with 40 and a somersault down to the 25. Well, they don't have Fantuz, who is the security blanket, but Luke Tasker fits that bill.
Over 100 yards on Monday. Fantuz out for the 6th straight game. Tasker caught every pass thrown in his direction. The Labor Day Classic. Caleros leans on him big time, especially in second down situations. Has 14 coming into this game tonight. A couple more tonight already.
3 consecutive first down catches by Tasker. And now Caleros calls quarterback draw and a feet first slide down around the 17-yard line.
Good change up there from Caleros, just to actually call his own number.
Referee spotted closer to the 19. 4th carry, 23 yards. And the handoff to Hawley spins in behind the line of scrimmage, and he is going to be stopped for a loss. Greg Jones cleans up. 3rd in the league in tackles coming in. The Argo middle linebacker with the stop, and Justin Medlock's going to have to come on.
And what impresses me so much about Greg Jones is the fact that he's also among the league leaders in special teams tackles. And I can't explain how hard that is. Can't explain enough how tough it is to cover a kick for 40, 45 yards and then go and line up and start at middle linebacker on defense in about 25 seconds. It's not easy. He's been one of the best in the business at it.
Excuse me, Suits. 3rd in the league in tackles and 4th overall in special team tackles. Medlock from close range once again. And it's a 22-13, 9-point Ticat lead. Paul LaPolice.
Down on the sideline here before that touchdown play, you said Scott Milanovic and Tori Gurley got in a very heated argument and with some very choice words I'm not going to repeat here. And then what happens, he goes back in a huddle, scores a touchdown, comes over, and Scott's laughing and they're still trying to get through. And Tori Gurley's a great young football player. He's just got to learn sometimes to control his emotions, and Scott handled it great, but it was really funny to see. They're screaming at each other, then he makes it up with a touchdown, guys.
So they get within 9 after the Ticat field goal, and Brandon Whitaker with a good run on first down, close to the 45, 9.5 on first down for Whitaker. Well, there are some growing pains with the big 3. We've seen some tough love for Vidal Hazelton, and Paul LaPolice reporting on that exchange with Gurley, but the coach certainly loves his trio of rookie receivers.
Here's a look at the first-year receivers in the league that are leading the way. And there's Terrence Tolliver, the Hamilton Tiger Cats, and there's the big three, Hazelton, Gurley, and Elliott, all right there. I mean, who can match the start for Darrell Walker? His first 3 games were off the hook, just shy of 503 games. Came back down to earth a little bit last week, but
Harris for the first down, and Argos with a fresh set of downs at their 46. Looks one way, and then a pump and go, and that ball fell incomplete. Hazelton looked over the left shoulder. Ball fell to his right as he had trouble tracking it, and the William & Mary product is making noise again.
There he is. He's off the edge from the top corner of your screen, coming around, and he little bull rush, and then the inside stunt, and he drives Trevor Harris. Brandon Whitaker immediately wanted a penalty for that hit.
See, Pinball should have been talking to him and softening him up before the game, as only Pinball could do.
I don't know if even he could pull that off.
Not going to block him. 2nd and 10, flag down. Trevor Harris looking downfield for Hazelton, and he gets tripped up. And a flag flies at the target.
There's a couple. It looked like, unless there was a flinch on the offensive line from Toronto, that Hamilton was offside on an inside blitz.
And the newcomer, Cleishon Page, at the end of the play, called for pass interference.
Offside, Hamilton, number 93. That penalty is declined. Pass interference, Hamilton, number 24. Spot of the foul, automatic first down.
So it is Page.
That's Cleishon Page out there. Let's take a look as double move by Hazelton.
So Page out there in the spot where Courtney Stephen was when Gurley scored the touchdown.
Yeah, but
there's Emmanuel Davis pulling down Kevin Elliott.
But let me just say, I know there's a young defensive back, Cleishon Page, out there looking at his sideline saying, I don't want to let my teammates down. I'll tell you, Cleishon, you didn't, because you've been around this league a long time, and that's not pass interference.
So we've got at least 3 for further review.
Well, or just maybe a difference of opinion, but
yeah,
either way.
Argo kid like that last call. Harris bouncing around, he'll take off, and Hassan Azimi bringing him down. It'll be short of the first down, but within about a yard. So will they use Dave Stallop, or will they keep the offense on the field again? Dave Stallop wants to kick a field goal here. I told you it's on the bucket list.
There must have been
this is close enough,
yeah,
I think.
Well, and I'm wondering if there was a decision made or the discussion between Stala and Milanovic about where do we need to have the football before we can put you in and you feel like you can make it.
Yeah, we just corrected it. I was going to say it didn't look like 3rd and 2. It looks like a yard, maybe a bit more than a yard. Adrian McPherson in, quarterback option, Kacker to the edge, and he's got the first down or more. Runs out around the 21-yard line. Sorry, Brendan Galanders.
I like these calls by Scott Milanovic for a couple reasons. Yeah, they're risky. You're taking the ball on 3rd and 1 off the line of scrimmage. You're play action, so you allow the possibility for the defensive line to get up the field. But if you don't do some of these plays and just keep banging it into the middle, that's why short yardage is such a challenge now, because the defense can overcommit to that. Now they got to think a little bit based on that and the Whitaker touchdown in the first half.
First down just outside the red zone. Fake the fly sweep. Harris on a roll, and he'll take off down around the 11-yard line, and that's close to another first down. Trevor Harris tells you he thinks he's moved the chains, and he has.
As good as Hamilton's been offensively in the red zone, Toronto Argonauts have been a little bit better. Almost 75% for them when they get inside the 20.
7 carries, 35 yards for Harris. 1st and 10. Argos were shut out in the second quarter, looking for their second touchdown here in the third. From the pocket, dumps it off and incomplete. Couldn't make the connection with Whitaker. And again, it's in Dave Stala's range, but I'm not sure Scott Milanovich is comfortable with that, nor is he really looking for 3 down here.
Yeah, well, you'd think well within it now. Looking at a 17-yard field goal attempt. Clearly Swayze Waters out of the equation here right now.
But looking for a touchdown on 2nd and 10 from just outside the 10. And looking in the end zone, open man, touchdown! Anthony Coombs.
Got the protection he needed because of just 2-man pressure. And somehow Trevor Harris threads the needle and gets it to Coombs right in the corner.
Number 1 has his first touchdown. And Dave Stala's going to try the 32-yard convert. First career touchdown for Anthony Coombs. Trying to make it a 2-point game. Stala's money. Hamilton product nails that. And the Argos are right back in it with just under 2 minutes to go here in the third quarter.
Field against 10-man coverage. There's Coombs there. And as you see on the snap of the ball right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 in coverage. And somehow Trevor Harris threads the needle, finds Anthony Coombs right back there in the corner. Touchdown, Toronto.
So Coates earlier for Hamilton, first CFL touchdown. Coombs has his first. We've got ourselves a game here in Toronto. Brandon Banks on the return of the Stala kickoff, and he gets stacked up just beyond the 40-yard line. Argos with a 10-play, 75-yard touchdown drive in just over 5 minutes. Bounce-back performance for Trevor Harris, who got some extra encouragement from a veteran receiver.
I said, bro, you remember in high school and in college where you rolled out or you was scrambling and you saw a receiver, did you think twice about just throwing it, giving him a shot? He said, no. I said, that's what we need. You know, in certain situations in the game, you know, I just told him just don't be afraid to make a mistake. Because Trevor is so disciplined. And again, that's what makes him good. But sometimes, let's just go out there and have fun and just play football.
Threw it into 10-man coverage there and got the touchdown to Anthony Coombs.
Fighting back, he has 22 touchdown passes on the year. One off the lead that is held by Zach Collaros, who has his 23rd here tonight. Starting at the 42, Collaros looking downfield, runs out of time and gets dumped on the play by the newcomer, Martin Wright.
Out of Florida Atlantic, and he had to put it in the second gear, maybe up into third, fourth gear to catch him. But he gets up the field from the backside of the play because Collaros is going to try and scramble out to the left, but watch the speed, and he tracks him down from behind.
First sack of the game for the Argos, 2nd and 12 for the Ticats. Four-man rush. Caleros over the middle, and he's got Tolliver in front of A.J. Jefferson into Argo territory. It's a Hamilton first down at the Toronto 50. 21 for Tolliver.
The top of your screen, that short side wide receiver position, and he's got A.J. Jefferson turning and running, getting out of his back pedal quickly.
Final minute, third quarter. Caleros bouncing around again. He goes sidearm and has Hawley underneath, brought down by James Jurachuk. 7-yard pickup.
Zach Caleros had to throw it around the rush there. They're going tempo offense now, calling him on the line of scrimmage. Again, the short week for both these teams.
Yeah, that fourth quarter is going to be a test of endurance. Here's Hawley, big hole, first down, running down inside the 30-yard line. And that should be the final play of the third quarter. Ticats lead has dwindled to 2, but they are in scoring position as we get set for the fourth. Couple of touchdowns for the Argos in that third quarter. The 42-yarder to Gurley, and then a connection to Anthony Coombs. 22-20 heading to the fourth in Toronto. Toronto had 20 yards in the second quarter, 128 and a pair of touchdowns to close the gap in the third.
Yeah, they also had to clean up penalties. They did that. Just one penalty in the third quarter. Yeah, they also had to clean up penalties. They did that. Just one penalty in the third quarter for Toronto. They had over 100 yards in the first half. Now, Caleros is on a roll and's got his offense rolling, and we're going to see a shootout here, I think, in the fourth quarter now.
Well,
they get tired.
Yeah, they played 4 days ago, and you've been through the quick turnarounds. How do they feel?
Here's what we're looking for. When the defenders start to put their hands on their knees and give it the old like this in between plays, and they drop their head, missed tackles is a sign of fatigue, and that's why offensively these guys want to go into the tempo, make it hard on these defensive linemen. We'll look for the signs, see which team tires quickly in this fourth quarter.
Ticat offenses look fresh here on this drive. 1st and 10. Look like they reset the play. Caleros sends up, looks over the middle, and Sinkfield brings it in a little behind the target. But the Ticats are first and goal inside the 10-yard line, thanks to the former Argo, Terrell Sinkfield.
You watched our pregame show. I showed you an example of on Monday how linebackers weren't getting deep enough, and early in this fourth quarter, again, maybe a little sign of fatigue here. Greg Jones, who's done a pretty good job for 3 straight quarters, is a little bit short. He gets about 2-3 more yards deep, and he's right in that throwing lane for the interception.
First and goal. Sinkfield in the backfield. They'll hand it off to Sinkfield. All the way down to the 1. A guy that Ken Austin benched for 4 games. Ken Austin's talked about him becoming a better pro. He wants it quicker than this. 2nd and goal at the 1. And a straight ahead plunge, and it should be a touchdown. There is a flag.
Did they all get set on the line of scrimmage? There's lots of bouncing around there from both teams. And I think Toronto was offside, and then that's why Ken Austin wanted to go tempo, get him on the line of scrimmage.
Offside, Toronto, number 30. First down.
Defense has problems then trying to just get lined up right, and he'll take the touchdown. Ken Austin thinks there's a touchdown. There's the offside. You can see Travis Hawkins, the top of your screen there, inside the neutral zone, across the goal line. So that's the offside call.
Caleros signaling touchdown. I think we all presumed he was in, but no signal.
Well, I don't know how he's not in. It looked clearly like he crossed the plane, and that's exactly what Ken Austin did. He just signaled that that was a touchdown. He wants to see the challenge.
And a little frustration, and I get it. would be first and goal, but
No, you don't take points off the board if he's in.
absolutely not.
Yeah.
Hamilton is challenging the previous play, feeling that they made the goal line. This will be reviewed.
Oh, we'll come back for the verdict. Sure looks like he's in. So we await the verdict of the challenge by Ken Austin. Sure looks like Zach Collaros breaks the plane. Again, following Peter Diakowski. Center Mike Filer.
See, now you stop it right there. Like, that ball looks like it's half of his body, the top half of his body is across the line, and the ball out in front of him.
He's following Diakowski, who ends up at least waist deep in the end zone.
I mean, you could see Collaros' number 4 there. Now, if they can't clearly see the football and this is ruled not a touchdown, they may not overturn this, even though it looks to me like there's no question he crossed the plane. Maybe this will show the ball. It just doesn't show the perspective of the goal line.
The ball looks like it's on Diakowski's hip, and he is deep into the end zone.
This might be one of those calls, Chris, and I don't think there's any question that he got in. But I don't see a shot there that shows the football. And Glenn Johnson has told the replay officials not to sort of assume. You see his shoulder pads over and half his body over, then you assume the ball's over as well. Unless they can find a shot of the football over the plane here. And maybe that's it.
After review, the ruling on the field stands.
Wow.
First down as a result of the penalty, Hamilton.
Yeah, I think, that was a touchdown.
That was a touchdown.
But when you look at replay after the ruling, just couldn't see the ball, and they can't assume.
It is a first down. Jeff Matthews is in. He will plunge, and he's in. And this one will stand. And Matthews and Juracek have words. So Collaros doesn't get credit for the touchdown, but Jeff Matthews does. He's got his 3rd of the season. And the Ticats, who have not trailed in the game, back up by 8 with Medlock to try the extra point from 32 yards out.
Big extra point, too.
We going?
And Medlock nails that, so it is a 9-point Ticat lead here early, 4th quarter. Matthews getting the love that Collaros doesn't. 7 plays, 68 yards, and a nice response by the Ticat offense.
Now I want to see what happened afterwards with Jeff Matthews and James Juracek. So Matthews throws it up in the crowd, right around that restaurant area, and then Juracek, a little bit of a shoulder there. Good the officials didn't throw flags there, just let the guys sort it out, get them separated. And right back on the headset, Zach Collaros with Tommy Condell upstairs to get ready for their next series. But a good response, and what you'd expect from a 7-3 team.
So the home side still has a lot of work to do. Chad Owens back this time along with Cackert. Don't see Owens return many kickoffs. He will not bring this one back. It is Cackert once again. And another good return as he barrels up around the 38-yard line. So Trevor Harris now 11 of 21, 145, and a pair of touchdowns in the game. One off the league lead of his old sidekick, Zach Collaros.
What does Alonzo Steinauer have dialed up for Trevor Harris here? This chess match going on between he and Scott Milenovich has been fun to watch tonight.
Argos have started to crack the code a bit here in the second half. And they've had some running on the ground. Brandon Whitaker changed direction, but he is brought down after a short gain. Tracy again. Well, I say short. Give him 4.5.
Steinauer's gone with blitz on second down. Now this is second and medium. Right in that 5 to 6 yard area. He's been blitzing more on second and long so far tonight.
Argos 6th in the league in second down conversions, coming in at 44%. Second and 5.5. Looking downfield, and the intended target Gurley went tumbling over Ed Gainey as those two got tangled up.
Yeah, and Gurley thinks that this is pass interference. I'm not sure that Ed Gainey doesn't think the same. There's Gainey and there's Gurley, and they just kind of get all tangled up trying to run by on this straight go route. They get all tangled up, twisted, and tripping on each other. But I think Scott Milenovich would like the officials to take another look and see if Ed Gainey didn't just get in his track, get in his way, and then therefore get in legal contact, which would have turned into pass interference.
Toronto's challenging the previous play for defensive pass interference. This will be reviewed.
With the ball in the air.
A.J. Jefferson, a fellow corner, out to confer with Gainey, saying, I know what you did there. Let's see if it was just inadvertent. Hard to read into it.
Again, right at the top of your screen, Gainey turns and runs, and it looked like Gurley just kind of ran up his back there, and they tripped on his heel. I mean, there's a little push from Gurley too, so
I think the Argos were arguing that Gainey was going down prior to any contact of the heels, but no replay really indicating that clearly.
the third quarter much better for Scott Milenovich's group when it comes to penalties. Mentioned it at the break. Just one holding call in the third. So whatever speech he gave at halftime has worked. And Gurley and Gainey are trying to sort it out. What do you think? I'm not sure.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed as an incomplete pass. Third down.
So that's the first 2 and out of the second half for Scott Milanovich's offense. And Ed Gainey does a little victory jig. And a block. Dave Caldwell got in on Stella, who might be a little slower than a usual punter. And another punt block, back-to-back weeks in that department. Adrian Tracy ends up with a football, but it is Caldwell that gets home. Monday, Dave Caldwell tonight. Tie-cat block punts in consecutive games.
Brendan Gladner's there has to take inside pressure first. Caldwell comes through closer to the punter. Got to go inside out. Made the mistake. Maybe fatigue kicking in.
Tie-cats with a chance to really take charge. Big hit. Ball came loose. Hello, coach separated from the football. And there is a flag on the play, but Matt Black lowered the boom.
Well, that was excellent timing.
Hamilton, number 50. Penalties decline. Second down.
Holding call against the left tackle, Jake Olson.
And good for Matt Black here too to get his head out of the process, turn it to the side, get it out of there, use his shoulder, but a big hit.
Post 2nd and 10 with the penalty decline. No huddle, but running the clock down inside 5 seconds before the snap. Here comes the rush, and they get home, and down goes Caleros. Greg Jones, the middle linebacker, gets to the quarterback.
Illegal block, hands to the face. Hamilton. Penalties decline. Third down.
So the Argos get the defensive stand they needed.
They wanted to go to Luke Tasker here. He starts out in here, but then they move him out to wide receiver. And this is Zach Caleros calling this on the line of scrimmage to get the matchup outside he wants with Tasker. But by the time Tasker ran his in route, Greg Jones got up the field and got into that pocket on Zach Caleros.
Now, who's that on?
So from 41 yards out, here's Medlock. And the left footer puts it through. 12-point lead for the Ticats, but lots of time left.
Nice, smooth golf swing for Justin Medlock. And for Chad Owens, yeah, more frustration.
135th U.S. Open men's singles comes to an exciting conclusion on Sunday. The final catch the match. Djokovic and Federer beginning at 4 o'clock Eastern, 1 Pacific on TSN 4. Some U.S. Open drama today as Serena Williams was upset. Roberta Vinci, a 300-to-1 shot winning her semifinal. Here's Trevor Harris going to work, and Gurley with a little curl trying to elude the tracking of Simone Lawrence. And first down.
The Ticats have a down lineman. It looks like it might be Brian Hall.
And that doesn't look good. Brian Hall, who will celebrate a birthday tomorrow. A key run plugger for the Ticats on that defensive line. And one of the most engaging guys in the CFL.
I think he may have got rolled on by his own player. Just look at the top right of your screen there. He's the interior D lineman in his 3-point stance. Watch Hickman get hit, and it surprised him. It rolled on the back of his legs there.
Well, he's up and he's putting some weight on it, so it looks better right now than it did on that replay.
Oh, that's a real good sign, yeah.
Big man must be a little rubbery, and that's good.
Got a little scare there. Looks like he'll be okay.
A birthday celebration might still be on tomorrow.
Hassan Hazim will come in.
Boy, they've had trouble at defensive tackle, though, with injuries. Michael Atkinson just put on the 6th game. Of course, Gidosh and Bulky have been missing all year. First down. Harris sets up the screen. And it's Coombs breaking across midfield and finally cut down at the Ticat 48-yard line.
Top of the show, our coach, Coach Lapalisse, told you how important Anthony Coombs can be in the open field and his yak yards, his yards after the catch, because that is one-on-one on Taylor Reed, maybe the best tackler for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. He made him freeze.
And his coach took him aside this week and said, you've got plenty of talent. You've got to make people miss. And he got the message. He's been effective tonight as his first CFL touchdown. And now the hitch goes out to Gurley. And he's trying to make people miss and does. Close to another Argo first down. Argos aren't going away tonight.
They got the tempo going now, too, not allowing for any substitution from the Hamilton Tiger Cats defensively.
They have not led in the game. Ticats scored a touchdown first. Argos tied it. And since then, it's been an uphill battle for Toronto. But they've got another first down just outside the Ticat 35-yard line. The one thing we're unsure about is whether or not Scott Milanovic has a field goal kicker in his arsenal. But right now, he's thinking touchdowns.
And what has been a puzzle for me, and I'm sure it is for the coach as well, and Scott Milanovic, is that Chad Owens has just not been part of this offensive plan. The guy that in his day, man, was over 150 a game.
He's thrown a pass. Maybe here, well, they think to Owens, and it's Cackert with some move. Another first down, and he runs over Emmanuel Davis at the end of the play.
There's a little decision from Chad Cackert that shows you a little bit about this rivalry with Emmanuel Davis. Could have ran out of bounds here and said nope. Chance to lower the shoulders, and so did Emmanuel Davis.
18 for Cackert, and now into the red zone.
That big D line trying to suck for some air now.
It's advantage offense on both sides in the fourth quarter. Engaged 4 days apart. Fake to Cackert. Harris rolling. Anybody open? No. And it's Justin Hickman taking down Trevor Harris.
Hickman and Ted Laurent. It's basically a Trevor Harris sandwich here. Real speed, and Laurent traveled a long way to get there, so he wanted to get part of that too.
Hickman with his third sack in the two-game matchup, 7th sack on the season, closing in on the league leaders. Had 13 back in 2011. Second and long. Harris just gets it away, looking for Hazelton. Can't bring it down. Ed Geedy was step for step, and they've got to help Trevor Harris up. He has been punished tonight.
He's trying to regroup. Adrian Tracy, inside stunt and going right down Main Street, put his face mask right on the 7, and those ones hurt. The other end, Hazelton gets run out of bounds there by Ed Geedy.
3rd and 13. The offense stays on the field. They converted on 3rd and 8 in the third quarter. 8th play of the drive. Trying to keep it going. Harris has time. There is a flag, and there is Chad Owens with a catch. But I think the Argos were offside. Looked like a receiver on the near side of the field may have jumped the gun.
Offside. Toronto. Number 21. 5-yard penalty. Remains third down.
Was Vidal Hazelton. And that is a tough one to take.
Down the bottom of your screen, 21, just beside the sideline here. You can see he's in the neutral zone. And you're right.
And there's Owens.
It's a big one. And there was Chad Owens trying to get involved, and it's taken off the board.
When they needed him the most, they got the ball to him, but taken back. 3rd and 18. This time looks like the Cats are offside. Up for grabs. And early the intended target incomplete, was looking for a penalty. Courtney Stephen back on the field, was in good position. But it looks like the Argos will have one more play here on the drive.
Offside. Hamilton, number 21. 5-yard penalty. Remains third down.
Simone Lawrence, and they're going to challenge.
Yeah, I think.
Or are they?
Scott Milanovic had his challenge flag in his hand. Hey, first of all, Chad Owens calls out the blitz, and Lawrence is offside down at the bottom. So it'll be down over for Toronto, 5 yards closer. But I think Scott Milanovic was wondering if he saw some interference down on the other end.
Yeah, no challenge flag, though. Thought it did come out. Back to 3rd and 13, so third attempt to extend this drive with a gamble.
Timeout called by Toronto.
So Milanovic calls the timeout and wants to confer with his quarterback.
I think he called the timeout.
And now he is going to
look at pass interference.
He was just stalling to make sure that upstairs had a good enough look.
Yeah,
and now they will challenge the play, but has the penalty already been enforced? I don't know if you can challenge now, can you?
Well,
didn't they move
the next snap has to occur before?
But have they already accepted the penalty?
Toronto's challenging the previous play for defensive pass interference. This will be reviewed.
Oh, it's going to get reviewed.
Yeah, and so basically until the next snap, the next play, and that's why Milanovic wanted to stop the clock and stop the play clock from running so that he could take one more look at this, because he thought Courtney Stephen had some pass interference and early contact over the shoulder pads there of Torrey Gurley.
So it's back in the hands of the command center. We'll have the verdict when we come back. The biggest call of the night is upcoming. 3rd and 13 or 1st and goal?
Well, first of all, take another look. And if you're an Argo fan, you're saying that Courtney Stephen with the left hand did not allow Gurley to jump for that football and get up there to try and compete for it. It was the left arm, not the right arm from Courtney Stephen that was over the shoulder pad of Gurley before the ball arrived. If you're a Hamilton fan, you're saying they're both going up to play the football and there's going to be contact in the air. But it's been a bit of an adventure tonight.
Has it ever?
And there's been a lot of coaches and players tonight looking at the replay screen here.
In fact, the first time, and one of the reasons it came out so late, Scott Milanovic was watching the big screen here, and they cut off the replay just prior to the end of it.
After review, defensive pass interference. Toronto, Hamilton, number 24. Foul happened in the goal. Ball will be placed at the 1-yard line. Automatic first down.
Number 22 it is, and it is 1st and goal for the Argos at the Ticat 1.
Heads up by Scott Milanovic, though. He managed that and got the call. Took a quick look, couldn't see it quickly in the replay monitor here because, as you mentioned, Chris, they cut it off. Calls the timeout to buy himself a few seconds and then gets the ball on the 1-yard line because of the challenge.
So they are 4 for 4 on 3rd down tonight. Trying to get within a touchdown. The short yardage team with Adrian McPherson are in. Second man through is Whitaker. And is he in? Touchdown! Driven back after breaking the plane, but it is an Argo touchdown. 6 points back, and Stala to try and add another extra point. 10 plays, 75 yards, a bunch of 3rd down gambles in 5 minutes and 22 seconds. It hasn't been dull.
Well, I knew I should have brought a copy of the rule book, just in case.
Just waiting for confirmation that Whitaker had broken the plane. After his 2nd touchdown of the game. And Dave Stala right down the middle once again. He's been practicing. Whitaker giving Chad Kackert some credit. He got the ball rolling on that drive, but Whitaker capped it.
Here's the pass interference one more time. And, again, the ruling here that Courtney Stephen with the left hand did not allow Torrey Gurley to jump to the football. Restricted his movement to the ball. That gets it on the 1-yard line. Good challenge by Scott Milanovic. And there's two-way Whitaker.
See Brian Hall back in the middle of that defensive line for the Cats, and
One possession
good to see.
game. Yeah, one possession game, Chris, with lots of time.
You bet.
And what does Zach Collaros and Tommy Condell, Kent Austin have for their offensive series? Of course, a lot of that depends on the return from Brandon Banks, because you'll have a different offensive package if you're starting from inside your own 20 or if you're starting from inside your own 40. Banks gets a big return and gets to midfield. You never know. You may be starting with a completely different offensive package.
Plenty of stake here. Argos trying to tie the Ticats in the standings. Hamilton trying to move 4 up with the tiebreaker in their back pocket. Short boot, but if that hits the turf, Banks fields it cleanly and did a nice job. Now cuts back into traffic and gets outside of Miles and is run out of bounds around the 42-yard line.
And you go back to last week, or excuse me, Monday. It wasn't last week. Labor Day weekend. It was Luke Tasker and Terrell Sinkfield that Zach Collaros went to early and often.
And for the most part, they have been the prime targets here again tonight.
Seven catches for Tasker tonight for 79 yards.
They've had the answer after the Argo touchdown so far tonight. Little shovel inside. And Brandon Banks, not much running room. Brought down by Urachuk and Black. And Banks has been shaken up.
Yeah, that play, Tasker was on the bench because Banks, that play was called for him on that little shovel pass.
Banks got a scare in practice prior to the Labor Day game when he landed on his shoulder, suffered a stinger, was worried it was something worse, and we hope this isn't serious.
Oh, I think he takes a knee from James Urachuk.
Black and Urachuk, neither starters at their respective positions at the outside linebacker spots this season. Urachuk for Corey Greenwood, who is on the 6th game with a concussion. And
yeah, I know we saw that in slow motion, Chris, but that was borderline in and of itself. And that's Kent Austin, I think, feels the same way.
Banks is up. Looks like he's okay.
Probably got winded.
James Urachuk, 7-year vet, just his 8th career game start.
Brampton, Ontario kid, I heard.
Good Brampton boy. Second and 8. Big play in the football game with under 4.5 minutes to go. 3-man rush, and the pass is caught. Sinkfield's got it in front of Travis Hawkins for a huge Hamilton first down at the Argo 49.
Well, first of all, you've got to get time to throw this. It's a deep out and a second receiver inside. Sinkfield's a slot back running just inside the numbers here. He's got to get up the field and then run that out in front of the deep defender, Travis Hawkins, who's playing his own defense. And Zach Collaros loves it. He had all the time he needed at throwing lane, and he gets it to Sinkfield.
71 receiving yards for Sinkfield. That went for 18. Quick hitter over the middle and
nice
another catch by Sinkfield. Gabriel the tackle. Sinkfield maybe the most comfortable of the Ticat receivers, heading over the middle into the danger zone.
Yeah, the blitz picked up. The Argos tried to run Hawkins on the blitz from the top of your screen. That's picked up by the center filler. And Collaros throws it right where he vacates.
Short yardage, Chip Matthews comes on. Collaros to the bench. Third and about 1.5 yards as the big boys hunker down. The second down, excuse me, and a big surge by that offensive line, and Matthews plunges for the first down. Boy, they've got a good surge tonight behind Mike Filer, Diakowski. Landon Race has been in there for much of the night.
Yeah, Filer is.
Although Tim O'Neill, I believe, is in there now. Yes.
Yes, he is. Yeah, and Filer is the guy who picked up the blitz on the outside. So you're talking about play when they need it.
Ticats moving the football again as we hit the 3-minute warning in Toronto. Sack Tally brought to you by Purolator, tackling hunger, a promise we can all help deliver. Ticats in third in that category. And they have 2 tonight. Craig Butler on a safety blitz. Justin Hickman has his 7th. Argo defense could use a sack right now. Trying to stop Zach with 2:48 to the clock running. And the fake to Hawley, and Caleros takes off again and runs it down to the 30-yard line. Good first down production.
This was student body left, and Zach Caleros behind it. Gets a block. He's limping a little bit getting up from this, but he gets a nice block here from Luke Tasker. He's got a touchdown tonight, closing in on 100 yards. 17 gets out there and gets a block for his quarterback.
30 yards on the night, 32 is his best on the season. 2nd and 2. You're going to convert at 70% when you get that many on first down consistently. Wide out for Sinkfield, and he has another first down. And 14 has done a number on his former teammates twice in 4 days.
And this is textbook for Hamilton to just try to keep the sticks moving, run the offense, not pushing it down the field, don't have to, got the lead, and now they just want to work this clock, work it right down as far as they can, finish off with points, make it a 2-possession game, and it's good night. In theory.
First down at the 18. Hawley tries to bump it outside, nothing doing. Juracek was there to shut that door.
That's right now.
This drive extended by a Toronto 2nd and 8 conversion earlier to Sinkfield, and now another 2nd and long as the Argos stop the clock.
8-point game, obviously, is what Scott Milenovich is counting on, but he needs to stop right now. Casey Crean's got to dial something up here. Does he bring pressure and put his back in man-to-man? Or does he try and play zone, make Caleros throw it underneath, and then rally to the tackle?
Second and 10. Hawley switches sides.
It's like, man.
Short drop, underneath, ball caught, first down, Luke Tasker at the 6. Sinkfield and Tasker all night long.
That went to man-to-man defense. You could tell because of the early motion, the motion before the snap. Siawansu Ansah is following his man, Matt Coates, inside, so Zach Caleros knows he's got man-to-man. When he's got man-to-man, he's going right after Luke Tasker.
22 catches now for Tasker in 3 games against the Argos. 7 for 105, 7 for 73, and he has 8 catches here tonight with 2 minutes left, and 91 yards receiving on the evening. Kwasi Owusu-Ansah cramping up here. Surprised we haven't seen more of that here tonight. While we have the opportunity, a reminder, the NFL season continues this weekend. Catch the Giants and the Cowboys Thursday at 8:15 Eastern, 5:15 Pacific on the TSN network.
Did I hear the Patriots stretch the rules last night a little bit or something? They didn't bend the rules,
No,
did
they didn't.
No, okay.
That was an NFL thing, and I said Thursday, but that's Sunday night.
There's something about the headsets or something.
Not the Patriots. See how they'll alter the Argonaut secondary.
Well, strategy for Toronto now has got to be to try and strip the ball, and if they run another play here, get it into, try and punch it in. You got to think that Hamilton keeps it on the ground. Tackle the football is the strategy down here. Try and rip it out if you're Toronto.
Shane Herbert comes in on the corner. Again, the Argos have a bye, then back-to-back against Ottawa. Hamilton's next game home against Edmonton, and then home against Calgary. Got the Alberta teams coming in. But this one far from done. And they do hand it off to Hawley, and he's going to get stopped for a loss. Shut down by Ricky Foley. And again, second and long. Do the Argos have one more answer? Or does Zach Collaros burn him again and cap this, what would likely be a game-winning drive? 14 of 21 on second down conversions.
Early motion there, so Collaros can take a look at the defense.
Second and goal. See if they test Herbert on the corner. Looking the other way, a little slip there into the end zone, incomplete. Wanted Sinkfield, Hawkins there defensively. Like when Collaros planted his back foot, slipped a little on the turf.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, he knew where he wanted to go with the ball. He just never got his feet planted.
But
so it came out a little late. Yeah, and Hawkins comes out. He struggled a little bit, got a illegal contact in the first half, but Hawkins has come back in a penalty that shouldn't have been out of bounds, but that's a big one.
Justin Medlock 3 for 3 on the night.
Sure hands is his holder, Luke Tasker.
98 of 100. Inside the 40, automatic for Medlock. 8-point lead, 1:12 to go. So it's in the hands of Trevor Harris now. Can he lead them down for a touchdown? They need 6 points and then a 2-point convert. And they are 75 yards away from where they've got to be.
Chad Owens is due.
.193 yards passing on the night, with a pair of touchdowns for Trevor Harris. Looked like Hickman jumped offside.
Yeah, free
play. Owens, another flag comes down as Owens turned the corner and runs out around midfield. Well, the first call was an offside against the Ticats, it would appear. Is there something against the Argos as well?
Offside, Toronto, number 6. Illegal block, hands to the face, Toronto, number 67. 5-yard difference, still first down.
There was an offside against Hamilton. Jeff Keeping gets called. And so what looked like a free play.
Yeah. And the second big play in this fourth quarter for Chad Owens has been taken off.
72 consecutive games with a catch. He's made 2 tonight, called back.
He's offside.
He's offside here. And the pass falls incomplete for Cackard.
Chad Owens is offside. Unless he saw some movement on the D-line, I didn't see it.
Offside, Toronto, number 2. That penalty is declined. Second down.
So it'll be 2nd and 15. steps up, underneath it goes. Gurley the catch, and he is dropped at the 39.
Well, lots of time you knew they were going third down, so not a bad decision by Harris. Get himself with a chance to convert here and keep it alive.
By the way, 16 penalties for the Argos, 135 yards, and now down to 3rd and 6. Can they stay on the field? 3-man rush. Harris underneath, and they got a first down.
Good move by Owens. He knew exactly where he was and had to fall forward immediately to catch it. Not only that, it saves a couple of seconds on the clock, but he makes a catch, falls forward to get the extra yard, move the chains. He's on 3rd down. If he goes down right there on that line, he's short.
73rd consecutive game with a catch for Owens. Harris dumps it off, checks down to Cackert, and
can't get out.
Steve Caldwell holds on to him and keeps him in play. And they'll have to line up quickly here with just over a half minute to go. 61 yards away. Need a big chunk play, don't they? 2nd and 7. And the pass is caught by Elliott.
There's your chunk.
And he's got it to the 39-yard line. Fresh set of downs.
Need one more first down here. We've got about 3 or 4 plays to go. If Trevor Harris can be efficient, work the sideline, get it out of bounds, 10 more yards, he could throw to the end zone on the final play or 2.
22-yard pickup. Gonna have to stop this clock unless they put it away here. Harris on a roll, loads it up, and then underneath it goes, and that's going to keep Cackert in the middle of the field. Can he get outside and drop down at the 23-yard line? They've got time for one more play.
But an intermediate pass to get it to the end zone. So that's the 10 yards they needed for Harris to. Now you can run a 15, 20-yard out here, and your receiver gets the extra 6, and he can score.
Well, this is more what we had expected from the rivalry between these two. Comes down to this. Can Harris get them to the end zone? Lots of time. Here's the shot. Gurley jump ball intercepted. Emmanuel Davis, who's had a brilliant season, has the interception, and it's ball game. Ticats.
He has had a great season. We knew this would be a battle. Final play of the game. You heard Chad Owens in our clip earlier say sometimes throw it up and see if the receiver can make a play. Well, Hamilton dropped a bunch in the back end, and triple covered was Torrey Gurley. It was a bit of a hope and a prayer. But take nothing away from Emmanuel Davis, who now has his 4th interception on the season.
4th interception of the season for Davis. The first he hasn't returned for a touchdown, but he'll take this one in the end zone. And it caps a sweep for the Hamilton Ticats. Time for the Nissan Player of the Game. And tonight, it's Luke Tasker.
Yeah, honorable mention goes to Terrell Sinkfield, who also had a pretty good game, but Tasker got the nod because he had similar yards, but always reliable, and he also had his touchdown. He had a touchdown in the game as well. And don't forget, he is also something that is never noticed. He's the holder on field goals.
You always notice 8 catches, 91 yards, and a touchdown for Tasker. The Nissan Titan Player of the Game brought to you by Nissan, official vehicle of the Canadian Football League. Well, he shut them down in the second quarter, but it was anxious times for Orlando Steinauer's defense down the stretch. But Zach Calaros and company find a way to win here in Toronto and cap a sweep of the Argos in the regular season 2015. Again, the final 32-27. So long from Toronto Sports Center is now.